Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms and welcome back to our Erlengrat Let's Play series. So, in this series we are focusing on setting up a dairy farm with all the associated tasks and things we need to do to get this dairy farm up and running. So we'll do a little bit of a quick recap from last episode. So last episode or the episode before we've stockpiled some hay, so we've got a little bit of a hay pile going here. The reason I haven't gone for a hay loft or hay bales at this stage is A, I don't have a baler, and I didn't want to invest the money in a baler at this point. So next best option is just to stockpile it on the floor using the loading wagon, so which we've got here. So that's a leased loading wagon. We've got so we had issues with our silage transport, so we've got a little bit of silage remaining. We sold about $60,000 worth of silage just to sort of get us through this next little period. We're in the process of cutting some grass at the moment, so I think we've got some hay remaining here which I probably need to pick up at some stage. Field 19 is probably ready to be cut as well. I haven't rolled this one, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it and go from there. Cows need to be fed, and we have scored, luckily, a bale trailer. So this is the Roland LSP 9004. So this has auto load, which is excellent. So this is really going to help us with, so it'll take 28 bales. It'll take 125 to 180 centimeter round and 180 centimeter to 240 centimeter square. So straight sides, curved sides, wheel setup. We'll just go standard. So the main thing I'm interested in this for is the auto loading feature. So we are going to look to get our baling underway. So having a bale trailer on hand and picking one up used is absolutely ideal. So let's just make sure we've got this configured the way we prefer. So standard wheels, standard design, auto load, yes. I like the color. So let's go ahead and purchase that. Alright, excellent. I think we just ran over that hay, did we? Yeah, that's fine. So it's just converted it to grass, it would appear. So that is okay. Alright, let's check in on the cows, actually. So they are probably, yeah, getting pretty low on food. So let's do a run of hay, I think. So we've got the mixing wagon as well. We're still in desperate need of some straw, so I have to come up with a plan for that. So I haven't decided whether or not we're going to try and... So let's turn that on. All I've been doing here is just sort of driving alongside the pile, picking it up, trying not to get stuck, which is seeming to happen to me reasonably often at the moment. Could just be the size of this wagon and the fact that this tractor is not all that powerful. But it's a reasonably effective way of picking up the material. And essentially having it on the ground like this, it's essentially free. Like there's no storage costs. It's just the space. So you need the land, obviously. Well, actually, I don't know if you even need the land. I think you may need the land because you've got to own the land to unload onto it. But hay is a better food for the cows than grass is, so we're going to try to continue to stockpile the hay. So I think this mower is done. So I don't know why he's over here, but anyway. Let's cruise on over to field 19, get cutting on that, and then we'll come back and we will windrow the hay, and then we'll come back and pick it up with the forage wagon later on. And we'll go and grab our new bale trailer as well, so I'm keen to see. Obviously we've got no bales underway at the moment. Okay, obviously we missed a little bit there, but that's okay. And this guy's in desperate need of repair too, so we may have to get those repairs happening sooner rather than later as well. Alright, let's go and feed these cows. So this gives us about 80% productivity as opposed to the 40%. So that just means that they'll produce more milk, more slurry. We still haven't had one cow born, eh? I don't understand. Additionally, they require water. So maybe the health isn't reaching where it needs to be because there isn't straw. So I think we've got to make straw the priority. So if I'm going to go straw, realistically I need to get... So let's have a look, see if there's any wheat planted at the moment. So there's a couple of fields. So field 8's got wheat in it. How much is that field to buy? 180,000. So this is the other challenge too. Because we bought land, that's 180,000. We're going to have to use one of our own plots to do the wheat. So I think what I'm going to do is we've got the JCB fast track, which is 235 horsepower. So we're going to grab the Cedar, either the Pottinger or the... It's probably going to be the Pottinger actually, because it's 210 horsepower requirement. It's 109,000, so we're going to lease that, and we're just going to get some wheat in the ground. To do that, I'm going to have to turn seasons off, because I don't think you can plant in the month we're currently in. And because we need so much of it, so let's just get this. So what this does is it's a direct drill, so it cultivates seeds and fertilizers all in one pass. So essentially saves us 3 steps in one. Same with this one. So same with the Kuhn Espro 600 RC. They both do essentially the same thing. So the Pottinger Terrasem C6F. And you can see it does wheat, oat, barley, canola, soybean, sorghum, oilseed radish, and grass. So let's lease that. So it's only $5,000 to lease, and it's a per day cost of 1,000. So pretty manageable. All right, let's go and pick that up. Also, we'll need to fill it with some seed and some fertilizer. So let's drop that off there. Obviously, I've got to sort that concrete pad out too. I may just leave it for the moment because I just painted it to give me a clear visual when I had the silage on top of it. Now that the silage has been sort of removed, I can I don't really have a need for it anymore. Right, so we want a big bag, get some solid fertilizer, so we'll grab one of those. And we'll grab a seed pallet for 900. Basically all we have to do is just drive up next to these. And that should start filling, so you can see the seeds going in there. Well, this is actually the fertilizer. So it's got 2 compartments. Oop, don't run into it. And you can see the seed going into the front section. Alright, so we're good to go. So we're going to get straight into some wheat here. Now the other thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to lease a harvester, which is going to be somewhat problematic. We should get this. We're going to have to... Yeah, we're going to have to windrow this field so we don't waste the grass we just cut. So I'm going to get these guys out of the way. So I'm just going to use this little concrete pad as a parking area for the time being. And I will keep this mixer because it cost me 8 grand to lease it, so I don't want to have to lease it again. And hopefully it won't be too long before we actually start mixing up TMR. So basically, all we need to do is get one harvest of wheat, collect the straw, and then we're good to go. And then basically all I'll do is keep on harvesting wheat over and over again. The other thing I've got to consider is if I wanted to take out a loan for a large chicken coop. So let's lower the windrower, turn it on. Oh, I haven't tedded this, have I? That was a bit silly. Let's do that first, because I want to turn this into hay, because grass is not really what I need at this point. So let's just park this over here. We'll go grab the tedder. If I can remember where I parked it. Oh, it's over here. So we've still got 84,000, which is okay. I mean, I would prefer to have a little bit more. But I think once we get this wheat production happening, I think we will add chickens to the mix, because they're just a good staple, easy animal to look after. And it gives us eggs as well, which is reasonably profitable. Okay, so this guy should be able to get all this hay for us. Yep, that's looking good. Okay, let's check in on this guy. Desperately needed repairs. Desperately. Alright, what else we got? Let's jump into the build mode to see where we've got to tidy up. So it looks like we've got a pile of chaff here that we need to sort out. We've got some silage in here that we can hang on to for the moment. We're not really focusing on silage at this point, but we will need to basically dedicate this field to probably wheat production. And this field's going to be for grass. And then we've got a little bit of grassed area here that we can utilise, but that's going to be built on eventually as well. So we are going to lose that production area. And then our hay stockpile can basically extend from where it is here out this way, basically as we need it. So, and we've got to probably look to tidy up some of this equipment. And we've got a fair bit of room here, so this is going to be obviously for, I think I'll utilise this for storage. So I'll get a couple of sheds, things like that. So where am I going to put the chicken coop? That's the question. So let's have a look. So okay, it's 80 grand for this one. Okay, so it's actually not too big. So that is good. So the only thing I've got to consider is where the eggs are going to come out of, and how we are going to You know what? I'm thinking potentially putting a run of chicken pens along here, to be honest. So let's get our snapping on. So toggle snapping is R3, I believe. And basically what it does is it puts it at nice square angles. So you can see there that it's basically lined up parallel to the road. Given, well, if the road is straight, to be fair. But just make sure that it just ensures that you have a nice even sort of setup. And then we'll have, yeah, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a row eventually of chicken coops along here. So this is going to really break the bank. So we're going to have to get a loan. Oh, the other thing, we're going to need a harvester as well to get this wheat up. Unless we sell this silage, which we might have to sell this silage just to get us another little bit of cash. And we could probably look to sell some of this milk, but we need a trailer for that, so that's another piece of equipment we'll have to invest in. So we've got a few decisions to make about how we're going to proceed. So what I'll do is I'll cut the video there. We'll finish getting this grass tedded. We'll get it windrowed. So I'll come back in when we're ready to windrow, and then I'll have a bit of a think about what we're going to do in terms of the next steps. So I think we are going to go wheat, and we are going to go straw. So we need the straw for the TMR. The wheat, I could just sell it, but it's far more beneficial to turn it into eggs via chicken feed. Then we get another income stream with the eggs, and then we're basically utilising all of everything that's in front of us, but the cash is going to be the issue. So stay tuned. I'll see you in a few minutes when we're coming back to do the windrowing. See you soon. Alright, we are basically done with our grass cutting, and I think our tedding is also finished. So what we'll do now is we'll switch over to the windrower. We'll get this windrowed, and then we'll carry on with the rest of the jobs. So I think the plan is going to be, yeah, we are definitely going to go that chicken coop. So we are going to need to probably look to get a loan. And obviously get our production of eggs underway ASAP. And I think the little area that I decided to go with is, let's actually go and fix this tractor before we do anything else, because it is in desperate need of some maintenance. So we'll quickly zip over to the shop. This is part of the reason why I chose this location as well, because of the proximity to the shop. So for this purpose, so I can quickly go and grab what I need when I need it, not having to wait around or drive too far. Okay, so $3,000 to repair. So it's 28 hours on the clock, not too bad. I'll leave the trailer here for the moment because I don't need it taking up room over at the main farm, at least for the moment. Alright. So this will give us a nice stockpile of hay, which I'm very interested in maintaining for the moment. Okay, let's get this guy underway. Alright, are we doing this or? Yes, we are. Okay, cool. Obviously I missed a little bit of grass there, but that's not the end of the world. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell this silage just so it gives us a little bit of extra cash. So I'm going to leave this here. And hopefully we can pick up the rest of this silage with the wagon. I know we've had issues before. So what have we got in here? Hay. Let's go and drop this hay off. Yeah, I think what I probably should have done, rather than starting with the cows the way I did, I probably should have started on the straw production and chickens first. Just because that gives you more of a cash injection. So we're having to do that sort of now at this later stage, where it's harder for us to invest in the equipment required. But it'll still be doable. It just sort of means we've not wasted time, but we probably could have been a little bit more efficient in our initial approach. Okay, so let's hopefully not get stuck here. So if I go one wheel at a time, hopefully. This is really just a struggle street at the moment. Can't believe how hard this... Yeah, it's obviously not meant to be driven over, clearly. I don't have a lot of ground clearance, that's probably the problem. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, I don't really have the horsepower to get it through, clearly. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook the front loader up. And we're just going to have a go at loading some of this into the trailer. Okay, I'm going to have to move this out the way. Let's try that again. So let's get this moved. Okay, we should be on. Now let's see what happens here. So I don't even know if this is going to go high enough to get into the trailer. Oh, this has got snow in there. What the hell? Oh, that's hilarious. Alright. See you later, snow. Get out of there. So that must have collected in there when the bucket was... Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see what we're doing here. Looks like the force is interacting with this trailer currently. Is some of that going in? Yeah, some of it went in. So if I was going to do silage with a bucket, I would get a wheel loader and get the biggest bucket that I could possibly get. Some buckets will do like 10,000 litres in a scoop. You know what, I wonder if it's going to be easier if I just grab the... Yeah, I'm going to grab the forage wagon and it'll do 43 k's an hour. So I'm going to drive this over to the animal dealer and sell the silage that way. Because at least that way it's going to be a bit more efficient in our loading operation, and I'll be able to clear out this bunker far quicker than I'll be able to with having to load at 1,000 litres at a time. It's just going to take me forever. So let's get this guy turned on. And my expectation is this should start picking up the silage like a little vacuum cleaner. Yep, pretty good. So even though I'm not taking over as much each time, the stuff that I am taking, it's just going to be so much easier. Alright, let's turn that off. So this is purely for sale. So let's see what we can get for the silage at the moment. Okay, so prices menu. Silage is $4.80 at the animal dealer. So let's go to the animal dealer. So we'll drive this load on over. So I'll drive it over there. I'll cut the video here, and then we'll come back when we're ready to sell it. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Alright, here we are coming up to the animal dealer. So hopefully this actually works. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. Because we're still effectively just overloading like we normally would. So it's overloading to the left, I believe. Yep. Yeah, this is far better than using the loading wagon. Hooker G is blocked by an object. Alright, well, let's go and investigate that after we've dropped this off. So 8,000. So what I should have done when I had that 140,000, rather than sleep all those days trying to get some equipment, I should have probably got onto the wheat at that stage while I had the cash, and then potentially get a chicken barn down. So I would have probably been able to put the large chicken coop down, fill it with chickens, and lease the direct drill, and get the wheat underway. So right, what I'm going to do is I'll get a driver to drive this one back for us. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try this. Okay, naturally the JCB's in the way. And obviously the workers are having a rough time here, so let's try this again. I'll get this guy lined up. I've got a feeling he was about to figure that out, but here's a bit of a tight position with the bunker right there. Shouldn't be so much of an issue for the when I turn this into a wheat field. Okay, let's try that. Who would have thought a human being could run as fast as a tractor? Sideways, of all things. Okay, that's all good. Okay, we've got our nice row of hay sitting there. There's our animal truck. Of course, he's stuck, been hit by a car. Okay, let's go and grab another load of silage. And we've also got some silage in the loading wagon that we're going to have to empty as well, so we'll attend to that shortly. Okay, let's get this guy underway. You need to unfold the mixing wagon. Okay, turn it on, drop it down. So maybe silage does become very hard when it's fermented. And that's why you need a machine like this to kind of mill it and break it up. I mean, it would make sense because it's been compacted to within an inch of its life. Anyway, okay, let's turn that off. But you've got, a couple of tons of tractor and machinery rolling over it over and over and over again. Okay, let's get this guy underway. So this will be another load, so this will be about, what, 9 grand worth. So we've just picked up 20 grand's worth of silage sales, and we've probably got another at least 15, maybe 20,000 litres there. So we could get close to 40 grand, so that'll give us a bit of a bump. So going into the next little period. And the other thing I sort of messed up there was too, because I had 4 grand per day, 5 grand per day leasing costs with no income. Basically every time I was sleeping it was just depleting the cash. So really, realistically, like, it should have been focused on making an income with that little bit of capital we had, rather than trying to secure a machine that may not have come up. Like, we did get the trailer, the bale trailer, but that's pointless to us without a baler. But this is just how this game rolls sometimes. And because I'm not really expert on cows, I don't really play with animals that much. It's becoming apparent to me that cows are probably not something you should start with, because the requirements to look after them are quite expensive, and it's a long-term investment unless you've got absolutely everything you need up front. I mean, new farmer mode gives you everything you need, but you've got a smaller scale operation as well, so it's a lot more manageable. So whereas our operation has gone quite big to begin with, I'm kind of glad we didn't go with the feeding robot, because that would have been problematic. Because that's 750,000 as opposed to the $500,000 we spent on the cow barn. So we're going to need to sell a lot of milk to recoup that investment. So we're definitely going to have to look to cheese and butter. So that means we're going to have to buy the dairy. So wherever the dairy is on this map, I'm not quite sure. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'll drive down this section of road past the train line, and then we'll get the worker to come on back. Okay, that guy's windrowing is just about done. Let's see if we can't hook up the loading wagon again. Now they've freed up a bit of space. So turn it on, load the pickup. Don't want to pick up the chaff. Let's see if we can get this last little load here. Alright, let's lower the pickup. See if we can't get some of this. So even that little bit there, I'm stuck. Can't believe it, eh? It's probably the size of this wagon too, to be honest. Let's get this front loader in, see if it can't rescue me. Alright, that's all I'm going to do for that. Try and pick up. So let's turn that off. Okay, I've picked up some chaff for some reason. Okay, we should be able to get out of here. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and drive, or send this guy over on a worker. I mean, this could be disastrous, but we'll see. Target is unreachable. Okay, let's try that again. Let's just send it to the intersection. So what I find is if you can't get it to get quite to where you need to go, just sort of go for an intersection or a wide section of road. Sort of close by. Okay, let's unfold, turn on. Alright, then let's get this last little bit of silage out of here. Okay, looks like we're empty. Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I will auto drive this guy over as well. So let's start him from here, see if it'll work. So I'm going to send him to the same spot. Yep. Okay, cool. So I'll assume control here. I don't know what it is, but I really like driving with the front load bucket on for some reason. It makes me feel like a real farmer. I mean, not that farmers would drive with their buckets on. I mean, they might, but... I guess you would do it if you needed to, for whatever reason. Okay, so we've got our cash back up to 100 grand, so I'm feeling a lot better about that. Alright, so I'll get this guy over the railway and then send him back on the worker. But then by that stage our forage wagon should be in fairly close proximity. Yeah, you can see it coming down the road there. So make sure they don't crash into each other. I don't know why they do that, eh? That is absolutely bizarre to me. It happens every time. So if you drive past your own worker, like en route like that, they always veer towards each other for some reason. I mean, I'd be interested to hear if you've had the same thing happen to you in the comment section. So if that's happened to you before, leave a comment below, because that'd be good for the developers to know about, because you know, they do watch these type of videos and they do scour the internet for feedback about the game, because not everyone's going to go to Giants forums and, you know, give them a blow by blow of the issues. But obviously the big issues that people are having will be common amongst a lot of players, so it'll be a lot more easy to rectify and find the cause. I mean, at the end of the day, this is sort of the first iteration for console, at least, and for a base game feature where they've had the kind of, I guess, self-driving to and from a destination. So it's got to have teething problems, I get that. And I'm definitely glad it's a feature in the game for sure. Actually, so what I'm going to do is I'll get this guy to drive back so I can do another job. But basically, whatever is popular on PC will make its way into a main release eventually. So obviously Seasons was a new addition for FS22, but it was a very, very popular mod in FS19. So much so that the developers recognised that and made it as a standard feature. Obviously you can turn it off if you don't want to play with Seasons on, so I do a bit of a mixture. The thing that I don't like about Seasons is the fact that you can't plant when you want, which is the whole point of Seasons in the first place. So, okay, this windrower is doing some weird stuff out the back there. So that's totally fine. But I do have Seasons turned on for my No Man's Land Let's Play. And it's actually quite enjoyable, because I think what I've done is I've built the farm up the way that I want it. And it doesn't really matter if I have to wait 12 months to harvest a crop, because I've got so much on hand and I've got so much sort of infrastructure set up. But in a scenario like this where you're just starting out, it's really important to get as much of a particular crop as you need for sale or for productions or whatever it might be. It just becomes a little bit more important. Alright, what we'll do is we'll leave that video there, guys. Thanks for watching. Obviously a few issues to sort out, a few things that we've got to make decisions on in terms of how we're going to proceed. So we are definitely going to go chickens. We are going to get some wheat going, and then that'll give us straw for our TMR. So we've just got to be careful how we manage this next little period financially to make sure we don't run out of money. But yeah, things are moving along nicely. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I will see you soon in the next video. So bye for now.